it quite a bit. I would ask Pete, our keyboardist. I'd ask him for his thoughts. Usually, my biggest issues were like vocals, like what am I doing here? What should I do here? And that's where Pete really stepped in and helped out a lot. Musically, where I might have been, I want to do this. This is what I want to do, but it wasn't fitting. It wouldn't work. I would just kind of take a break, come back to it a couple days later, and start with something new. So, I try to be very aware of overthinking it, because obviously I don't want to. Because for one, you could end up forcing something that just going to sound bad, and I don't want to do that. So,
of course, we're joined by Tony Piccoli from Imminent Sound Destruction and Tony Waldman from Edensong, about to embark on a tour here in just a couple of weeks, very, very shortly here. Excited about that, and of course, they're excited to see you. And speaking of tour and speaking of being live, last time we talked to you, ISD Tony or TP. You had mentioned that, this is, of course, a couple weeks before Triumphe was released, that you played the Fog live, and the feedback from the crowd was like, oh, this is pretty killer stuff, man. Can't wait till we hear the rest of the album. But now that you're about to go on tour with Edensong, and, of course, you've had other tours, and we, of course, saw you with Circus Maximus, et cetera, what is your favorite song to play live?
Ever or from Triumphia?
Ever. Doesn't really matter. Whatever it would be. And by the way, Tony from Edensong, I have the same question for you when Tony from ISD is done answering.
Well, I guess I got to say Arborist Calm. And Breaking Through would be like 1B. But Arborist Calm, we've gotten a lot of great response from it.
Song of the year.
Yeah, that was Biv's Song of the Year, and
yes, it was. Thank you again.
I would love to hear that live. That would be freaking awesome.
Well, if you happen to catch us in Chicago again, you're going to hear it. So
sweet.
I feel like it's probably, as long as our set list can handle it, it's probably going to be something we play every time. But it's a lot of fun to play. It's really satisfying to play.
Oh, I bet.
And we're getting a lot of great response from it. So.
All right, no pressure or nothing, Tony from Edensong. Favorite song of yours to play live?
Well, I haven't played it live yet. Because
so which one are you looking forward to, I guess?
I'm really looking forward to the Atman Apocalypse.
Sweet.
It's kind of the big epic on Years in the Garden of Years.
It's a great song.
Yeah, I dig that track a lot, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I guess it percussion-wise, it's challenging, and it lets me show off a little bit of some of my tricks. And it's my favorite song on the album, and I just love that song, and I would say that.
Well, Tony, Edensong, Tony, tell me where did the title come from? Years in the Garden of Years. It's such an intriguing title.
It's a rather interesting story. So James, the leader of our band, he once had a dream where Dream Theater came out with a new album called Years in the Garden of Years. And he woke up and remembered that, and he just thought it was sort of an interesting title and something that he could, build a concept around. And, it's a concept album about time. There's no linear narrative or anything like that. But James just had this vision of a garden of years that you could just pick sort of years out of and different stories out of. And concept album about time.
That's really cool how that all ended up working out. But of course, Imminent Sound of Destruction, Edensong going to be joining forces here very, very soon. Of course, Edensong is playing a festival right before them. Of course, May 22nd at Toronto, May 24th in St. Louis, May 25th in Chicago, May 27th, and I'm skipping a date on purpose. I'll get back to that. May 27th in Erie, Pennsylvania, May 28th in New York. And I got to ask you this, Tony, because you and I are friends on Facebook, and I know that you guys play a handful of shows in Detroit, at the Loving Touch, and every single time I see the name of the venue, I laugh my ass off. Because it is the most non-metal sounding venue in the history of venue. So I'm curious if your show in Erie, Pennsylvania is like at, Rainbows and Unicorns. Is that the name of the venue you're playing at in Erie? I'm just kidding. But it's what the hell is like, I've never been to the Loving Touch. It almost makes me want to go just to see how metal, or I guess non-metal, it is. So I got to give you crap about that, but please elaborate for those who don't know.
I will gladly elaborate. And I got to tell you, I'm actually literally sitting outside the parking lot of the Loving Touch now. As soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm going to go check out some friends of mine in the band Harlow. And anyway, so the story is, and it is that this place used to be like a massage. A spa place.
Yes.
It's like
happy ending. Happy ending.
I was going to say there has to be happy endings involved. Well, I guess if you see Imminent Sonic Destruction, if you see ISD and Edensong, you will have a happy ending. Is that what you're trying to say? I guess.
Well, always. And the thing to remember too is that the town that this is in, is we're just outside of Detroit. We're in a town called Ferndale. Cool place, definitely like hipsters, and so it's part of like that kind of that hipster culture. It's called the Loving Touch. So you'll see anything from folk, blues, metal, and rock in this venue. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
But we're not playing at the Loving Touch, right? We're playing at.
No, it's at the Loving Touch.
Yeah, I thought so.
It isn't. Wait. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
see?
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
In Edensong, Tony, you will get a happy ending by going to the Loving Touch, so it all works out.
I was confusing it because I know.
And delivered by me.
Chicago, I thought we were doing right. Reggie's. We're doing Martyrs in Chicago. Okay, that's what.
Martyrs in Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you purposely skipped over another show for... Oh, right, you skipped over that show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I had to go back to Detroit because I had to give him crap about the name. But now that the name is what it is and I know the history behind it, it's actually kind of funny and kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It's a great venue, honestly, too. That's the other thing about it.
Very excited. I've never been to Detroit.
Edensong, Tony. So one of the things that I do on the show and now as individual segments is something called Biv's Best Band You've Never Heard of. And really, it's one of the primary reasons we started the show was because we wanted to feature bands that people simply need to hear. And so being a musician and getting to play a little bit, even locally, whatever. Who's a band outside of your own in the metal scene where you're like, man, these guys need to be heard? Who would that be?
It's got to be metal, right? Well, according to metal, yes.
Well, rock, metal, whatever.
I want to give a shout out to my friends in Infinite Spectrum. We've done some shows with them. They're a New York-based band. They're a prog metal band. And we also played Progtoberfest with them, and they're great people. They have a great new album out, and check out Infinite Spectrum.
I will second that. They're really good.
Our listeners check out Infinite Spectrum, but you should, of course, definitely check out Imminent Sonic Destruction and Edensong joining forces for a quick mini tour here at the end of May. Again, just to restate the dates. May 22nd in Toronto, May 24th in St. Louis, May 25th in Chicago, May 26th at the Loving Touch in Detroit, May 27th in Erie, Pennsylvania, and of course, ending things out on May 28th in New York. ISD Tony. Edensong, Tony, thank you so much for joining us here on According Metal. We really appreciate it, and good luck on the tour.
Thank you. We love you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
In the metal.
It's great being on the show.
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it.